we've been surviving, we've been doing all right, and it's great that you've come to join us for an hour with the tower. Through a little bit of what's happened to Steve Warburton, probably over the last 10 or 12 years, because that's how long it's been. If got a little bit further. When did you first start playing, and how did you learn? And when did you decide that this, do you know what, playing poker for a living, this could be a very good career?
Making me feel old. That every time I play poker now, everyone still sort of sees me as like the kind of young kid.
Yeah.
It's quite a few years, isn't it? I first started playing when I was like 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
And I was a sort of typical kid. I had no idea what I kind of wanted to do for a living, except for the fact that I didn't want to work for anyone. So, you know, when you were growing up, you're always asked, what do you want to do? What do you want? I never had an answer. Except for, I don't know why, I just always said I never really wanted to work for someone. So when I started university, I kind of had this plan, which was to not really go to university and just basically use the student loan and basically start playing poker from there.
Yeah.
Which didn't really go down too well. I remember my dad specifically wasn't very happy that I was quitting university, and I've got quite a few aunties that are all teachers. And so I kind of had this plan of just get this, kind of $3,000 student loan.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the rest of my life will just be sorted, which has kind of happened. I basically went to university. I went to the first lecture that was on a Thursday morning at 9 a.m. And I remember turning up thinking, I'm just not going to come back. But I kind of had to tell it a few porkies the rest of the year, pretending I was going, I was committed.
Yeah.
All I was doing was just playing 1-2 cash games in the Manchester G in the age of about 18 years old.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how I got started. I kind of played some £5 sitting goes with friends when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just, and it was relentless back then. It was like 5 or 6 games every night, waiting lists.
Yeah.
Constant action, just everyone was coming through the door. What's this game? Do you know what I mean? No one could really play. Every pot was maybe 4 or 5 way. None of this kind of check calling, taking ages. It was so exciting when you first started playing it, especially for me anyway. And I just loved it. I was playing till 6 a.m. every night. Moved to Manchester. It was so exciting. It was this game that you didn't need to be that good at. You just kind of need to be better than your average Joe sort of thing.
Mm.
And it was fantastic. So
the early days were all cash.
All cash. What are you drinking, by the way, Tower?
Water, believe it or not. Concentrated professional.
Jesus. I thought I could rely on you, mate. Come on. Right.
Come on, son. You first.
When you drink, just so you know, I've got some Pims.
Yes, very nice, very posh.
Saturday afternoon, and I've also got a nice Peroni as well. Just so you know. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
Multi-drinking as well, mate. So you've played cash, but then you go on to your first ever Hendon mob. Can you remember what it was?
Oh, first ever Hendon mob. Well, basically,
I'll tell you it was a win.
Oh, I know what it was. So I was playing cash games every night. I thought tournaments were stupid. I thought tournaments were the most ridiculous thing ever, and it was too fast. And I wanted to kind of play deep and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing much has kind of changed over the years, but I played. I think it was Walsall, right? £100 side event.
That's exactly what it was.
I played £100 side event, and it finished at about 5:45.
Yeah.
And they told us that if it got to 6 o'clock, then they were just going to say whoever had the most chips won.
That's when they closed at 6 a.m. That's correct.
Yeah, and I basically folded something like 15 hands heads up. So I'd fold. It was on him. He'd raise. I'd fold. And then they told us this, and I moved all in with Jack 5 offsuit, I got called by jacks, won the hand, and then won the next two hands, and basically won it. Obviously, looking back now, I had no idea what I was doing heads up. I was folding all these hands heads up and whatever, but yeah, that was my first one, I think.
Yeah, and then your first 7 cashes ended up being on GUKPT side events and APAT side events. So I'm not being funny, but I'm not being funny. You played cash, but every time you seem to play a GUKPT or an APAT, you seem to cash in the sides.
Yeah, I think that was more to do with the cash games weren't as kind of good as they were. I was fairly lazy about, I'm like I was studying back then, and now people study just an insane amount of things, and so you kind of go with the flow of, okay, what's next on is GUKPT Bolton or Warsaw or London, and so you're almost kind of forced into it. I didn't have lots of money back then, but when you've got maybe 10 grand to your name and there's a £500 tournament on, you kind of go with the flow, and it's all about people as well, Towers. When you play live, you just meet people every day. You're playing cash games maybe 8 to 12 hours a day. You meet people all the time, and people talk, and where are you going next week? Oh, there's this thing on, and so it was very strange how I kind of got into tournaments. It was more kind of that was what everyone was doing, and you know what I mean. So that's kind of where it kind of started.
It's a good job you went into side events, because in May 2011, you do realize that's nearly 10 years ago. May 2011, your first 5 figures cash for 11,000 at the Salford Megastack.
Raf White was running that. And he said, I remember him saying something like, and this is one of my first tournaments, if you don't play, you're in trouble. And I was saying, oh, Raf, I don't really play tournaments. And, and he was saying, you basically got to come down and stuff. And I remember we had 2 tables left, and Alex Martin was like the kind of big player back then. And I think I knocked him out, and then from there I won the tournament. And then probably after that I was thinking, oh, tournaments are actually all right, aren't they? Completely being results orientated to the whole thing. Pretty much after that one was when I kind of started playing them more regularly.
Did that first 5 figure cash go straight into the bankroll, or was it just like party time?
I'm pretty sure that doubled the bankroll.
Well, that's you got to start. You have to start somewhere.
Honestly, Tal, for probably the first 4 or 5 years I played poker, I had between £1,000 and £9,000 or £10,000, and never ever got beyond that. I was just playing low stakes. You kind of win a few quid here and lose a few quid there. So to win 11,000 back then was like, wow. I mean, let's basically play these tournaments because you can win huge money. So I think I had about 4 or 5 grand to my name, and obviously won that one in Salford.
And in the
state, coming out with 11 grand in Salford, by the way. But
well, it wasn't a bad year 2011, because the GUKPT 500s, you got 8.8 and 7.7. So now you must have been thinking. These tournaments now, all right, cash is good, cash is nice to sit with the mates, but tournaments, I'm pretty good at these.
No, I really used to struggle with confidence, like a lot. I'm not saying I'm super confident now, but I was always very aware of what was happening, and I saw these guys win, and rather than looking at results, I was more looking at the hands they played, and I was thinking, well, if that guy had lost that hand with 15 left, he would have won that tournament. It would be something like ace queen against ace king, and he basically hit a queen or something. So I feel like I've always been quite level-headed when I kind of win or lose, and so I never really got carried away with what was happening. And I would say that I definitely put more effort in, and I maybe respected them more as a thing. So like the next few years, I was obviously more kind of focused and taking it more seriously, definitely.
Well, it's been an interesting start. We'll be back with Mr. Steve Warburton very soon in the next episode of An Hour with the Tower.
Looking forward to it.
So back with an hour with the tower with the fabulous. Can I just say? Can you just lean forward and show everybody that lockdown's not been favourable for most?
Mate, this is 4 months. 4 months of no haircut. So we went to where did we go? We went to Hampshire. It was me, Little Dave, Jake Fish.
Yeah.
This was about 3 weeks before lockdown started, because everyone in all the different countries was saying, look, this is basically going to come to you. So we basically went to lockdown, and I just thought, Jesus, for the next 3 months, no one's going to cut my hair. It's just going to be an absolute disaster. And it is an absolute disaster. But I've made no effort to make it better. Just so you know, this is literally just as it comes out. This is nothing.
It looks good. Back to the Steve Warburton story. 2011, your first Vegas cash. I'm guessing right now you still need ID to get anywhere in Vegas because you're such a young-looking chap, and I mean that. And that's the time. You will need a passport forever. 2011, your first ever Vegas cash. How was that?
Well, I mean, this was back in the day where if I basically walked around the Rio, not playing a tournament, I was just, kind of looking for a friend or something, I used to have security guards march round all the way around and come up to me and just ask me for ID. And every time I'd say, I'm not gambling, and they'd just say, I don't, because they're really strict. Massive clubs over there. Yeah. And the amount of times that happened, so I never set foot after that. Probably happened like 4 or 5 times. I would never go into a tournament room unless I was actually playing, because I just used to get ID'd all the time. But 2011 cash, that was probably 3 years before I actually played what I'd consider proper tournaments in Vegas. I basically went to Vegas for 3 years, 11, 12, 13, and just played cash games. And I was very hypocritical in terms of everyone I spoke to. I'd say, why are you playing tournaments? Stupid. You should play cash and all this stuff. And then in 2014, I think I played the main event, and that's when I kind of really got hooked as well. I think that 2011 one was just a random rogue cash, which is probably why no cashes from that until 2014.
No, we're not going to start with the rub downs at all in the slightest, but it is part of history.
Go on.
Your biggest ever shot at the time was a 5K buy in the EPT London.
Oh, disaster.
Unfortunately,
disaster.
Unfortunately, the crowd would have been cheering, roaring, and shouting and whooping because everybody's made the money. Because Steve Warburton became that unfortunate bubble boy.
I've never ever been backed. I'm really proud that I've never kind of borrowed money. I've never been backed. But that was the first tournament that I sold action. I sold 50%, and it was I think it was my first 5K. And so, I mean, I'm really competitive anyway, but to let someone else down, that's just, I hate that. And so I think when we were about 15 off the money, I basically made the mistake of messaging everyone that had backed me and said, I'm 15 off the money, I'm all right in chips. And then I kind of dwindled down, and on the bubble I had, you always remember the hands you lose, don't you?
Of course, yeah.
Basically diamonds, all in against aces on the bubble. And we basically got all in. I'm thinking, oh my God, how's he got aces?
Yeah.
And like the first 2 cards were diamonds as well. So I was like, well, I've basically got 4 cards. Because also this was back in the day when it was like one card, not just 3 cards straight out.
Yeah, yeah.
So I basically bubbled, and I was in the very far end table of the room.
Oh, marvellous.
This is a huge, huge room. And the second the river card comes down, there's guys on the mic saying, congratulations, you're all in the money. And people used to get a lot more excited back then as well.
Yeah.
I'm not joking, Tower. That was the longest walk of my life. Everyone was high-fiving. Congratulations, you've made the money. I had to shake 3 people's hands on the way out because they thought I'd made the money. So I was just going with it. I got all the way to the end of the room, and one of my pals, he told me that if you finish on the bubble, you get a free for next year. So I'm thinking, oh, great.
Well, we're
I
okay.
marched all the way,
Yeah.
found the TD, and he said, oh, no, we stopped doing that last year.
Double bubble.
So I've had to do it twice. I've had to walk to it twice.
Oh, dear.
Get out. I think I'm going to ring everyone and say, I'm sorry, you bet on your money. So,
yeah.
you know.
But a couple of years later, you went back to London 2013 and you actually cashed. We ended up 22nd.
Redemption, kind of.
Which is pretty deep. Just under 20,000. Was it annoying not to go any further in the tournament, or was it one of those where we've just experienced a bubble a couple of years ago where everybody's opening you and you didn't want to be in that circumstance yet again?
Yeah, I don't know. That was a weird one. I kind of felt like I was going to final table.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I just kind of lost a few key hands. And also back then, you kind of get very carried away. You know, when there's 30 left, you're so convinced you're going to do well. And
yeah,
it's one of those. I was kind of happy that I obviously didn't bubble and I went deep. But I was kind of disappointed to not final table.
Well, you started travelling about a little bit, and then obviously the year after, GUKPT Manchester, you ended up chopping it with Rhys Jones and Simon Dedman.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. 39,000 for finishing third. And I actually remember.
So do I.
You actually remember you said that you'd cry if you won it.
Yeah. I remember
I think you would have done, because I think Manchester's your home, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that was obviously where I first started playing 1-2 cash, and the amount of hours you spend there, and you know all the locals, and I don't know, just I feel like with Manchester every year, I always seem to be in the mix and not really make much money based out. I'm always quite deep, and I might get a min cash or finish just before the money, and I don't know, I feel like 5-6 years ago as well, I got way more into tournaments in terms of I'd be like so invested mentally and emotionally that I remember on that last night, it was probably day 2, whatever it was, just speaking to you, just thinking, if I actually finally do this, I'll be so overwhelmed. And yeah, and it was more as well, like I've always felt like I need to kind of prove a point, maybe to like my dad, like my family.
You would also, because you've been at the EPTs and because you started traveling around playing tournaments, people started pointing and saying, that's Steve Walton. This guy's pretty good at it, you know?
Yeah, that was a bit weird, because I'm a sort of guy who's always like feet on the ground, and I don't really get like startled by people, and so like for people to say that, I was a bit just like, well, I've kind of been doing this every day for a few years, and do you know what I mean? I haven't really changed, and you didn't notice me then, sort of thing. So I was a bit kind of weirded out by it almost. But that interview though, I remember it well, and it's slightly cringy just thinking about it. Watching. But yeah, I think I actually like fell on the floor or something, didn't I? Yeah. I think I was like, oh god.
Yes, and finally for 2014, before we end this section, the World Series, we end up cashing in a side event for 3.5, but that wasn't the highlight. No, because we went and played the main event. And do you know where you finished? Will it always be etched?
I know it was under 300.
182nd.
Yeah.
Out of 6,682.
It was a good one because it was my first one.
Yeah.
It was the first time I'd ever played the Bane. I went really deep with my good friend Tim Hickling.
Mm-hmm.
He was somehow on the table next to me every day. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
And I remember on day 5, just walking in with him, and they had the music on and stuff, and you're just thinking, this is like how it used to be. You know, like I was saying before, when you first started playing, that real buzz of playing. So yeah, that was fun. But we obviously didn't go deeper than that, but it was nice to win wherever I won.
It was a very good run and a good ending to 2014. It would have been nice, obviously, because it was I think it was the first time it was 10 mil for the winner. So
I don't know, was that the Jamie Gold year? Was it?
No, that was. Of course. Jamie Gold got 12, didn't he? Yeah, when he got 10 million, but 182nd wasn't ending to 2014 for you.
And it was, it was maybe 40 or 50 grand, which again at the time, even now, it's so much money to win from a tournament. You're obviously really disappointed, but to just win that amount, it's
well. Coming to the end of this episode, we will be back with Steve Warburton very soon on An Hour with the Tower. Back with Mr. Steve Warburton for An Hour with the Tower, and we've moved on to May 2015 and the WPT Amsterdam. Has to be one of the favourite stops for poker players by far. 341 entries, and second, 150,000.
This was my favourite tournament of all time.
Yeah,
it was such a good tournament. Just everyone is just like, I don't know what it is about Amsterdam, and obviously 60% or 70% of the field are kind of Dutch, and there's just no one kind of taking the mickey and being slow with their play, and everyone's talking to each other, and that's like from day one to the end. It was just a really fun tournament, and I felt like as well it wasn't a tournament where it was just winning flips the whole way through. It was like a really good structure and stuff, and it was just a really fun tournament, and it was obviously my biggest score at the time. A lot of my best friends were there at the time. Again, it was just an obscene amount of money. It was just like so good. We had a fantastic evening afterwards.
What was the party like afterwards?
So good, Tower. It was just so good. It's just like I'm honestly, I'm such an old man. After about 4 or 5 hours, I'm just like a backache and I want to go to bed. But when you've just got like pure poker rush adrenaline, it's just so good just to go out and you just like, it's great. It happens very rarely to win a tournament, but it was a
great effort. Then you go on to party poker high roll, another second, and you lost to Alex Golder, but you're good friends with Alex.
Yeah, sure.
What did you? Was there a lot of chatting when you were heads up, or was it like enemies at the table and then just shaking hands and a bit of a cuddle afterwards?
We were talking about this recently, actually. This is when Dustle Dawn had basically banned you from making a deal.
Yeah.
And I remember we basically went outside to just have a chat, and Simon Trumper came out. He literally just tapped me on the shoulder and he just said, "If you make a deal, you're barred from like DTD for life." And I was like, okay, just outside. So we weren't actually allowed to make a deal. And I don't think I actually won a hand heads up. Alex won. He was like typically smug about it. And,
As long as you're still friends, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
As long as you're still friends. But the biggie, in 2015, we head up to Barcelona. We play another EPT. We have 1,694 runners. There's nearly 10 million in the prize pool.
Yeah, it's big.
1,070,000 for second.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
I'm going to talk. Obviously, this is one of the moments I always remember while watching a live stream for one of the first times. Watching this, because obviously we all remember the chop. But what was it like at the final table, knowing what was at stake? There's a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really talked about it. Like, obviously it happened, and people congratulate on the money and stuff. But I've never really talked about like the whole thing. I mean, I remember the night before I even entered.
to the live stream. Welcome one and all. We've got the tea in hand. We've got the water ready.
Yep.
Me and Jay sat in the booth. We cannot wait. All the chip counts are there, rolling around the stream. You can check social media for them as well. Everybody who watched last night, thank you very much indeed. It was a great day.
Yeah, it was.
The interaction was fantastic, and we'll do it all again today. As soon as it starts in 3 or 4 minutes' time, because right there you just see that the players will be shouted in a minute's time. We did ask who you'd like to see on a feature table, or if you had one player in the United Kingdom that was going to play at GUKPT Manchester, who would it be? Some good names shouted out yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
Some good names shouted out.
Be nice to see if we get them turn up today. But
who will we start with?
Well, the
Have we
first.
got any names that we'll start with? We think, I will watch these guys.
Not too many names that I'm familiar with, but I've done a bit of research on Hendon. There are a few players with some decent scores over their careers, but in one is going to be Cliff Townsend, 2 Nick Ramsey, 3 Simon Taberham, 5 James McCarthy, 6 Adam Bromley, 8 Jack Iverme, and in 9 is Anthony Cartwright. So
Tony Cartwright from Liverpool. He's probably the only one that I remember. I recognise as well, to be fair.
But the first feature table is always random. We don't choose who goes on.
Absolutely.
It's just the table draw, and then after that, obviously we do handpick who goes on the feature.
Yeah, really good for the. Can we just get the chip counts up? Yet again, just quickly run through any of the names that we missed from yesterday, because obviously when you make a day 2, you can't play another event. Because somebody asked me if I play the online leg, can I then go and play a live leg? Well, obviously in effect it's then turning into a choose a stack kind of comp. So no, unfortunately, is the answer. Even though people are saying, well, I played online, but I might still want to come and play live. It's not possible, because that turns it into a into a chooser stack, and we don't want that. So Adam Bromley is Natalie Bromley's husband.
There you go. I'm sure Natalie will be tuned in.
No, Natalie's playing.
Oh, is she playing?
She's in one of the outer tables.
Oh, okay.
Because she was one of the tables that when we started, every table was 6-handed, and she was sat there with 2 players, and they couldn't deal because it has to be 3-handed. So it is one of those. Afternoon Swifty, how did the home game go last night? She had to put a bad beat online, didn't she?
Afternoon, KT.
Yeah, she had to put a bad beat online straight away. It was like there's my bad beat. There's me bounty gone. So we are just about, as you can see, the players are sitting down. The man at the helm is ready to deal the cards. We cannot wait for another cracking session of poker. Loz Abraham, good morning.
Morning, Loz.
Good morning. So we're going to rail Adam now. We're switching to railing Natalie now. I know she's playing. Well, she's not on the stream, but she is on one of the outer tables.
It's going to be a good day.
Yeah, it is.
So busy,
we cannot wait. Afternoon, Neil. Good to see Jay back, settling down for a great 12-hour stream. What happened to the golf? You must have been already. It's 12:30. He's like a 7 a.m. man. He loves it.
I know. I see on Twitter he's always playing golf. I have to give you come for a round with you, Neil. I'll play you off scratch. We'll play for some money.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he does play. He
I
does.
know.
He does play off scratch.
I know he's a very good golfer. I've seen some of the scorecards.
He plays at a lovely golf course down in Exeter, and it's good for you guys. Get out in the morning, game of golf. Come and watch the live stream. Let's get on it. Yeah, it's just great. We love it.
What's the line for today? It's our runners.
I'm sorry. I've already lost.
I think I've already
My
lost.
pound's already gone because I had the unders on 400. Do you know what I did? I totally forgot
about the turbo.
The turbo's going to get 80.
Yeah, that's true.
Easy.
Yeah.
The turbo will have 80 people in it. I completely forgot about the turbo. And I'm thinking, well, we had 120 yesterday. I'm in here. We're not going to get 280 playing day 1B.
Yeah,
and then somebody said, well, what about the turbo?
Yeah,
I'm
with
like,
the turbo.
Okay. Forgot about that bit. So, yes, the line is going to be, could easily be 450, 460. So, as you can see, we are ready to start as soon as we get the shout. Absolutely, Swifty. Don't forget the day 2 buy-ins.
For the mini with 8.5 big blinds, there was 22 day 2 buy-ins.
It's for 8 big
22.
blinds.
They wanted to
Everyone
flick it
wanted
in,
to spin.
and they did. It's a great way they've set it up. You've got the 30-30 to start, then you've got the mini, then you've got the satellites, then you've got the old Codgers event. You know, that I could actually play.
Yeah, you could.
I didn't play, but I could do. 150 in that. There was 150, what was it, 205 in the satellite last night?
Yeah, it was crazy
Just
numbers.
absolutely
13
incredible.
It was nearly 14 seats. It was 13 seats and just under another seat. I think it was. 30 seats in 2 days.
30 seats in 2 days, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's
Morning, Spand. Congratulations, yesterday on making it through. Saw you on the stream, you was busting the moves.
yeah, it was.
Well done, Spand.
Someone was trying to set the command up span casualties. You kept knocking out people. Yeah.
Yeah, but 205 in a satellite just shows you. You put the games on, you run it properly, people turn up.
So we're off. First hand of the day.
Do we have a list of the names who won the satellite seats? We don't actually, unfortunately. We might be able to grab it at some point. Always good to get that kind of information, the satellite wins. And but yes, fly, crash, repair, repeat. Not too sure about you can repair anything once you've been flying and you crash, but there you go. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Hope all is good. We are just about to start. Well, we have just started. Live stream Manchester, Berry New Road. In for a cracking day.
I remember you getting ruined by Charles actually spam when he elected to raise the King 5 when you had pocket 7s. That was quite a fun hand to watch. It was the only hand I actually remember you running bad in on the feature, but at least you bagged up. You'll be back for Saturday.
Day 2 is going to be massive.
And the prize pool is going to be massive as well, so plenty to play for.
Fly, crash, repair, repeat. Won a satellite for Goliath yesterday. Oh, congratulations. Well done. There's hundreds and hundreds of Goliath seats available in the next 2 weeks.
It's not even 1 o'clock yet and there's already fin brags going on in the chat box. Jim says, afternoon lads, watching from Antigua. Just found out I can't play the Goliath out here, gutted.
No, it's on Grosvenor Poker, which is UK based, which makes the 250,000 guarantee even more enticing because it's only UK players. It's not iPoker worldwide, it's just Grosvenor, and you have to be in the UK. It's 250,000 guarantee. It's just, it's a great effort. So if you do get yourself playing the satellites, get yourself a seat, and it'd be good to see you playing that event because it is going to be an absolute cracker. Was it 5 day ones, a day 2 and a day 3 as well. 25th till the 30th of August. Day 1A is on the Wednesday. The final buying day is on the Sunday with the turbo. And then day 2 on the Sunday and day 3, the final day of Goliath, on the Monday. And don't forget, you do get a trophy and you get your name etched onto the huge trophy that's in Coventry at the CBS Stadium.
CBS?
Certainly better than saying Coventry Building Society Stadium.
It's got a much better ring to it.
Which we will be there in 3 weeks' time. Ish.
It's going to come around so much quicker this year after every leg.
It is, yes. Yeah, they've decided that for the rest of the year, now the restrictions have lifted, why not? And Coventry, it'd be great to go back. Last time we were there was 2012 for the GUKPT.
The early stages, it's just level 1 of the day. We're at 100. Pots are going to be small, not really. Shouldn't really see too many players getting out of line. As I always say, these early levels take the chance to try and get an understanding of who's at your table. Could always help you out with a decision later on in the day, assuming your table doesn't break or you don't get moved to balance.
So Lenny's working in Preston, and he's got he works for Sky.
Yeah.
He's got the live stream on in the Sky shop in Preston. movie. In the shopping mall in Preston.
We're everywhere. We're everywhere.
How good is that? Cheers, Lenny. You're an absolute star. Oh, John Mercer, good afternoon from sunny Lytham. I don't believe it's sunny in Lytham.
Where's Lytham?
Leafy Lytham. Yeah, it's side of Blackpool. It's where I live.
Oh, okay.
So you got Blackpool, St Anne's, Lytham. Lytham's posh.
Is it?
There's actually a street. It was in the news this week. There's actually a street in Lytham where the house, the minimum price for one of the houses is more than £1 million.
That sounds pretty posh.
Yeah, that's not Blackpool.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like Blackpool.
You know, £25 a night in a B&B in Blackpool. That doesn't happen in Lytham. Well, it's sun shining in Lytham, which is always good to see, because the old links will be looking lovely today.
Good.
Oh, my mate Paul Gupta, the Black Flash. How are you, young man? Good to have you back on board, and we'll see you in Edinburgh late September.
Afternoon, Gully, as well. Just tuned in. But looking forward to today. It's going to be packed with numbers. The card room in probably about 5 hours' time. You won't see a table that is spare. It will be packed out.
Mickey Spillane says hi from cider country. Was he in the Wetherspoons? Is that what it is? Having breakfast in Wetherspoons, is he? Afternoon, Mickey.
Afternoon, Mickey.
Somerset cider. Oh, can't beat a bit of Old Rosie.
No, I'm not the biggest cider drinker.
Yeah, but if you have proper cider from a proper pub in a proper town like that.
Nice.
See, it's not fizzy. Proper cider's not fizzy.
Is it not?
No. No. You don't get bloated by drinking proper cider. Well, that's true. Afternoon, Mickey. Good to have you on board. Unfortunately, it's not looking like the Battle of Malta is going ahead live. It's not been signed off by the government, and it's 5-handed at the tables in the casinos. So it'll be next year that Grosvenor Poker will be putting the seats on for the Battle of Malta. Good message from Jonathan Legg. Randomly put £5 each way on Kang, a golfer, at 200 to 1 in the American golf, and he's joint second at 600 after the first round. Oh, £5 each way at 200.
That's
all
right,
second.
What's that? 1200, yeah, 1200 plus your stake, 1210.
For a fiver.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a seat. Yeah, if it cut.
Just a shame you got to wait till
Sunday.
Just a shame you got to wait till Sunday to cash out. You guys are a great team, thanks guys. And Paul did a great job in London. Yes, Paul Kimber did a great job as
Paul who?
Paul. What did I say then?
Paul
Zimbler. It was rolling off the tongue. The Zimbler. What a top lad. Known him for years, old Paul. I just forgot his name now again. So yeah, early stages. Afternoon, Dan. Watching on his lunch break at work. Looking forward to playing Goliath at the end of the month. 2 bullets so far. Good, well done. Yeah, it is online. 25th till the 30th of August. And all being well, the world back to normal. Live Goliath will return in 2022. And I still think that we should start the live Goliath with the 9 previous winners in a sit and go to start the event off.
Yeah, that would be a great
Because
idea.
that would be amazing to do.
You got to somehow get in contact with all the previous winners. That's the thing. They might not be
We've got
playing
12 months
poker
to do
anymore.
it.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
We've got 12 months to do it. That's my input for 2022.
Yeah.
Right there.
Fair enough. It would be great to watch. It would be really, really good
Because
to watch.
it will be the 10th anniversary live. We've got 9 previous winners. We've got a 9-handed table.
Yeah.
We've got a live stream.
Yeah, that would be very good watch. Afternoon, Sean.
Yeah, so if you do want to chat, then just flick it in.
James Carter asked, what's the Twitch channel? It's twitch.tv/GUKPT if you want to watch on Twitch.
It is indeed.
We are on 4 platforms. You find us on YouTube/GUKPT, on the Grosvenor website, on the live stream, and then we are on Facebook as well.
I love how people just tune in randomly when they're at work and just stick it on. Afternoon, Warren. Warren O'Brien. Sonny Walsall. Don't say that very often either. See, Jim Marlowe loves it. Sounds good. Like a champion of champions, sit and go. That's it. Put it forward, Andy. You can even take it as your idea if you want to. That's all right. Obviously, we'd have to take the chat down at the side of the TV if somebody's a little bit naughty. But it was all good yesterday.
Yeah.
We had a great day.
Tower's a chat moderator anyway, so he's in charge.
Yes, I
He
can
thinks
ban
if
people.
anyone gets out of hand, Tower's on the
I
case.
can ban people forever. But it doesn't happen very often, I must admit. So as you can see, we are short-handed. We initially... We've got 6, haven't we? 7.
Yep.
We should have 7 at the
should have
table because that's how it was set out for the first level.
Yeah, we're missing Tony Cartwright in 9, and we're missing Nick Ramsey in 2. Obviously pre-registered, they've just not got here yet. A couple of more hours in bed maybe.
Yeah, it is only 1:15 to be fair.
It is quite early still. In a poker player's life, it is still quite early still.
So the room is filling. Don't get the turbos on later. There you go, Swifty's got it exactly right, you see. Sat at the office desk, dedicated one screen to us lot, keeping you company while you work. I thought you had a cafe.
Yeah, I thought you had a cafe as well.
What office
Katie.
is that then?
I don't know. Maybe she's got a cafe and an office.
Yeah, maybe.
Old entrepreneur Katie. You might have loads going on that we don't know about.
Well, exactly, that's true.
Spanned, of course I can. In seat 1's Cliff Townsend. In 2 is going to be Nick Ramsey. In 3, Simon Taberham. In 5 is James McCarthy. In 6, Adam Bromley. In 8, Jack Iverme. And in 9 will be Tony Cartwright. That will be the table.
Yeah. Every table was drawn as 6-handed. It's whether the players who have pre-registered and got themselves a name on the list sit down for the first level. Some people don't. But don't forget with the new structure, the ante's coming at level 2. So 1, 1 and 1.
Chiesa 21 watching in 37 degrees out in the garden.
That's not in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, well,
that is
unless
definitely
it's
not.
probably unless it's in Italy, it could be in Turin. It could be Chiesa who plays for Juve, the old Italy winger. The maestro could be tuned in.
Like it. 37 degrees.
But if there is any action, guys, we will jump straight into it.
Yes.
But right now, it's just going to be a lot of this, an open pre, small pots, not much going on. Won't really see people getting out of line.
Is that Terry Jordan in the back now?
Yeah, it is. I saw Terry this morning. He's definitely in the field. Albert's back as well for another try. I saw him this morning.
There you go, you got it bang on. In Florence.
There we go.
Very nice. 37. If the United Kingdom ever gets to 37, the country comes to a ground stop halt. I'm not working. We never get 37. Oh, here we go. Razor Kev's already spending his money.
He loves a little fourfold treble or
He
something
does.
like that, don't he, Kev? Little hacker. 4 liners to a straight here. 10s for Simon. Probably not going to lead this river up. So he's just going to go check. And Jack actually had Queens v 10s early on.
Yeah.
4-handed.
Afternoon, Kyle. We've already explained why it's 4-handed. There's 2 players missing. Every table was drawn as 6-handed, and players choose not to sit down. As you can see right there, we have names at every table. Every seat. They've just decided not to take their seats.
Yeah, it's always the way with day ones. The
Yeah.
first hour, or maybe sometimes the first couple of hours, you just got to wait for the players to filter in, take their seats. It is usually short-handed, first half hour of the day.
Yeah. Kaiser says we're meant to have over 40 next week, and that's even hot for you lot.
Wasn't it? It was 47 degrees in Sicily, wasn't it, the other day?
No, the hottest ever recorded temperature in Europe was 48.8.
That's hot.
That's warm.
That is
And I like it warm. I like to get flip-flop marks on my feet, but that's hot. Yeah, we're all good. We're all good. It's just the players, they just decide not to turn up. More and more players have now started turning up a little bit earlier now. The ante's coming for level 2.
Yeah.
That's made a difference.
The other good thing about starting a level 1 tower, I always think this is actually a big factor. You get certain players that are in the field that may just try and spin up their stack in the first couple of levels. They're willing to have 2 or 3 bullets, and you can potentially get seated on a table, one of them players that could potentially give you an easy double up, or at least you can get the money in good against them, and if you hold straight away you're up to 40k and you're rolling. And that's why I'm a big advocate for trying to start tournaments from the start, just for that factor of people in the field that could potentially give you their stack in level 1 or 2.
Yeah. Kate says, what's the most numbers of bullets fired by any player so far? Well, you can only have 3.
Yeah, only 3 now.
It's only initial buy-in and 2 re-entries now for a main event. But there are three flights and a buy-in for day 2. So initially, or in the end, you can actually do 10. If you're either unlucky or you need to take up snooker. It's 3, 1 and 2 re-entries for day 1A, day 1B and the turbo, and if you're unlucky you can buy into day 2. Yeah, if it gets to 20 in Blackpool, it's like people are walking down fainting at the side of the road. That's how cold it is in Blackpool on a regular basis. But apparently it's sunny in Lytham.
Nick Ramsey just taking his seat. And we're up to 5-handed now.
Give us the names of the team Mushroom, Kyle. Who are they?
Yeah, that's exactly it, Span. Like, I won't mention any names, but you just sometimes get a few people in the field that it's always going to happen. Level 1, level 2, they're definitely going to get their chips in. Like, sometimes they'll get lucky and they will bust you, but
Albert.
More often than not.
Terry.
Yeah.
Why are you not mentioning no names? Everybody knows who it is.
Well. Raised a 300 from Nicholas with ace jack. Jack's coming in the small blind with the ace 3 suited. Simon unknown holding in seat 3. Nicholas not choosing to open here. Unaware of Simon's holding, but this pot's going to go his way if he does bet. Not going to get any action from either player.
Chris Bartlett and Mike Humphries for Team Mushroom. And Stephen Smith says, slamming the ram, seat 2. The ram. Oh, I ram. Ian Ram.
We can't be rooting for Chris Bartlett though, Tower. I don't know if you remember, but the Goliath, when we played the tag team event, he was the one that busted us on the babble.
Was he?
Yeah, he was, if I remember correctly.
Well, we are not rooting. We were in front as well.
Yeah, we were
We were miles in front. We were like 99.9% favourites on that flop. Oh. We'd have cashed them, wouldn't we?
Yeah, would have.
We'd have made chunks.
The Grand Poisson. Afternoon, guys. I assume one of those players was who Jamie Nixon fell victim to yesterday. Yes, King's no good against the 9 deuce on the 9 deuce flop.
It was a flop. Afternoon, Scott. Scott Reed, watching on Facebook. Can we remove the icon for number of people watching or place it on the bottom left? Thanks, says Gerald Hall, watching on Facebook. Well, let me tune into Facebook and see what you mean, because I've not actually logged into Facebook.
I think it's usually the live icon, isn't it? The little red thing that says live at the top, and it sometimes blocks out the top left hole cards, if that makes sense.
So we click on Facebook. Let's have a quick gander onto that. Boz won't be watching. Ian Bosley. He's on the golf course in the quarterfinals of some trophy. Good luck, Boz.
What's Boss playoff?
11. Should be about 5.
Oh, bandit.
Oh, absolutely. Absolute bandit. Thought of a number, added 3, divided it by 4 and plussed it again. And 11!
Good afternoon, Carpet Catch Up.
So live. Ah, see what you mean. Ah. See what you mean.
If you turn it landscape, does that get rid of it? By
Yeah, but then he can't chat.
Ah.
If you do it, comes up with, is my accent that bad that I need subtitles? On Facebook it comes up with subtitles when I start talking.
That's because you've got it selected.
Nah then, me old cocker, how that doing? Went to the shop, bought some spice. See, that's good.
Chip oil.
Went to Chippy, 2 fish, chips, peas, gravy, scraps. Still got change for a £5. See if you can subtitle that.
I was loving this.
So if you go landscape on Facebook, it does actually get rid of the live thing, but the live icon is in the left-hand corner. I don't think that's anything to do with us, is it?
No, that's
The
just
live
Facebook, I
icon.
think.
No, that's just.
Is that just Facebook? That's Facebook. Nothing we can do about that, apparently. The icon covers the whole cards. I don't think that's anything to do with us. You'd have to go landscape on your mobile phone. That get rid of it. So there you go. And then you can swipe to see. And then you can swipe to see. If you swipe left and right, you can put the chat on and off the TV. How's that? It's all clever stuff. So there you go. Go landscape. That's all we can say.
Or even change to a different platform on Twitch, on YouTube.
Yeah. You might just be watching and just tuning in on Facebook. But if you do go to Twitch or YouTube, as Jay says, full screen. And for some reason, Twitch always seems crisper, doesn't it? Don't know what it is. Don't know why it is, but it's one of those. In the bottom left, says Jared Hall. Hang fire. Let's have a look again. What's in the bottom left?
Probably rounds their blinds, both check their option. Ace, King, Jack. Both players catch a piece, both check. 2 on the turn. I think it's checked us again here with our King X wanna be betting as Jack. And does come in for 100. Just the min bet. 9 on the river. Wouldn't mind seeing him coming in for another little street of value here. Yeah, this is nice. Even with second pair, going for 2 streets. Just after we get it checked to us twice. Very hard for our opponent to have better than a king. Try and get value from some Jack X and Deuce X. Yeah, it was a really good session. The session yesterday when we had Albert on the table, Spand was on there as well. It was a really, really good watch. And if you did miss that hand, it will probably be on as one of our featured hands throughout the day on Grosvenor Facebook page.
Kaiser, just clearing up that. Kaiser said he's no idea what I said. I don't think the subtitles did either. I've never seen that before. Subtitles on Facebook. But yeah, Twitch, YouTube, GUKPT.com, all places to watch as well.
This lasts 4 days, Kaiser. This is day 1B, tomorrow's day 2, and then we have the final day where we will crown a champion on Sunday. Live coverage from Tower and I all the way through to around midnight tonight. It'll be the same tomorrow for day 2, and then we'll play down until a winner on Sunday.
Yeah, we get a 10-minute breakdown again. Quickly run everywhere what we need to do and then come back.
Knock over some drinks and
which was live on telly.
Yeah, that was
Jay's finest moment yesterday.
Yeah. It was funny to see it back on stream.
No, we're all double jabbed up, ready to go to Turkey. Oh, apparently, if you go to Turkey, you can then fly to Vegas. Because you can't fly directly to Vegas from the UK.
What, even if you're a UK resident?
Yes. Because you need to spend 2 weeks in Turkey.
Yeah.
And then fly to Vegas. And you have no restrictions. So there you go. Holiday in Turkey, straight to Vegas.
Sounds alright.
Mm-hmm. Who told me that? Oh, Lynn Beaumont told me. Because Lynn's playing today. Lynn Beaumont playing today. She'll be playing a lot in Coventry when we go there in 3 weeks' time, because she lives about 10 minutes away from the CBS Stadium, or the old Rico. If we mention the CBS Stadium in Coventry, that's what it is. The Rico Arena. It's got a rebranded rename.
This is a graphic error, guys. It's actually gone bet call on the turn for what looked like 500, I think. And just going to get that corrected. But either way, not going to get any action on the river from the Jack 9. Did make a pair, but was calling to try and make a flush or a straight. So Adam going to come in for a bet with his top pair, top kick up. Nice value bet from him, but not going to be getting any action. Does improve on the river. Cliff, but not how he wanted to improve. We do beat a hand like Ace X with just the bare ace of spades, but Right, he gets out of the way of that one.
Afternoon to Seafolk. Asif Warish came to see us last night. He's not playing this event, but he'll be back. He flies off somewhere.
No, nothing changes, does it?
Won himself a seat to somewhere for next week. Is it Bucharest?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's
Yeah. And then the one-liner came out.
It was the first one of it. It was the first one this year, to be fair. I'll just sprinkle them in randomly, once or twice a day. Blind on blind, Simon raises up the ace queen after a limp from Nicholas. And just going to continue with the ace queen. Gets a fold from Nick.
Now we were just saying you called in to see us and you won yourself a package to Bucharest. That's all. Good luck when you go and play. Eight into 88 into 1,050. I'll tell you what.
You ever thought about writing a satellite book of
I
Seafolk?
know. How do you get to see? I don't. How do you get from 8 to 88? I always thought that be me. That's me done. Yeah. No, does it? Does it on a regular basis all the time? 5 to 100 to 500 to 2,000. There has to be a way that a Seafold's got a magic touch in satellites because he's always spinning.
Yeah, and there's the other one. He's won a satellite for the side event, 22 to 270.
Unbelievable. How good's that? Water at the table. Is it warm in there?
I'll tell you what is good. There's a place outside, sells food, and when you order something, you get a free bottle of water.
Really?
Yeah, free bottle of water.
Where's that?
The Dutch fish outside.
Oh, right, okay. We had a smoothie this morning, didn't we, pal? We were being rather healthy.
Yeah, it was lovely as well. Really good. The top pair versus up and down here. Blind on blind. Should be a bit of action. This turn may slow the Jack-X down, although in a limp pot. It may give our opponent no credit for too many ace-X hands, so may come in for another bet. But he has checked that over to Jack with just 10 high, who is going to fire with his up and down straight draw. Ace on the river, and this is going to be give up territory for the 10-8. I don't think we can come in for a bluff here on this river. Like, it's just so hard to rep an ace now once this comes. Like, maybe we could thin value bet some Jack-X, but most of our Jack Queen, Jack King, we're going to raise that in position. So if our opponent does as a Jack, they're just going to pay it off a lot of the time. They'll chop with our Jack-X, and we're only repping an ace. It's just not a good spot to bluff here on the end, personally. Just got to be aware about our opponent's hand, what he's calling us with. Bets flop and checks the turn. Definitely got Jack-X and 9-X in there. And once we bet that river, it's hard for us to credibly rep some value.
Plenty going on online this week. The 50,000 GUKPT closer on Sunday. £110 in, starts at 7. At 6 o'clock we've got a live stream free roll. Goliath satellites, hundreds and hundreds of satellites every day. Sunday on the sportsbook, Grosvenor Sport, there'll be a list of all the players that are remaining for day 3, the final day, and you can have a little flutter on who will take down the title. 30-30 satellites running and the online day one on Wednesday, as the 30-30 next week goes to Coventry, Liverpool, Luton and Sheffield.
Easy open for Adam with the ace-3 suited on the button. Jack could potentially 3-bet these hand, but in early stages may just elect a flat. He has 3-bet it. Just the 3x here. Maybe needs to go a little bit bigger, nearer the 4x size in, out of position. But good hand selection for the 3-bet bluff. Adam going to peel in position here. Both players flopping a wheel draw. Adams does have the backdoor nut flush draw. If somehow this hand does get to showdown, more likely than not, it will be chopped. Bet 600 here. 4-1 on a call. Have to make this call here in position as Adam. We've got a wheel draw, backdoor flush draw, 1 overcard to the board. 7 of hearts on the turn. Now turning a double gutter. 6 or deuce would make Adam a straight. Jack's got to be wary about coming in for a double barrel here, just because Adam can plausibly have a lot of king x hands here after opening button and peeling our 3-bet, so it does slow down. Now it comes down to whether Adam wants to bluff at this or not. Do just have ace high, do have equity to make a straight, 8 outs from our perspective. And if I'm Jack here, I would just get out of the way. Yeah, just got to let that one go. So Adam getting involved again, this time with the ace jack, makes it 300. Suli Gapper on the button, and Nicholas with the pair and the big blind not going anyway. 3-way action to this flop. Oh, we've actually got action here.
Jack 3-7, 2 diamonds.
The top pair, top kicker for Adam. Mixing in a check.
We can't really root for 60 diamonds, can we?
Oh wow, everyone's checked this through. There's a queen on the turn. Do need some top pair checks in your range. As always mentioned, you can't just always bet it, but you've got to just protect it sometimes when your check range with having some top pairs in there. So this hand that Adam did decide to check with is actually quite a nice one. We've got the backdoor nut flush draw, top pair, top kicker. The only real bad turns for our hand usually are the king and the queen, which has rolled off, but we're not going to be going anywhere. It's fine. Oh, we are going to be going somewhere now. So discipline lay down early on, obviously not wanting to get involved. If we make the call as 2.6 in the middle, could be faced with a tough river decision perhaps. Might have gone through his head, but this goes check check, and Adam's going to see he would have had the best hand. with the ace jack.
Yep.
Yeah, I just think if we like, it's fine to check that flop, like I say, incorporate some checks with your top pair, especially if we got backdoor nut flush draw there, one of the better ones to do it with. But if we are checking for deception and obviously to protect our check range, then just still going to have to call turn there, I think, a lot of the time, especially after we check flop.
Afternoon, Troy. Troy Blackwell says, afternoon, Jay and Tower. We are good. GUKPT commentary, the next stop. Satellites running every night for the 250 minute and the 750 main. 1500 package satellite every Sunday, and all tickets can be used at any GUKPT. They do not expire.
Kia's asked, what's the buy-in for this and what is normally the first prize? The buy-in is £1,250, and it's going to be so hard to predict, to be honest with you, at the moment, because we're going to have so many entries through the door today. So I don't know, if I had to guess what would be up top, I am going to go for...
Go on then.
£106,000 up top.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to go for.
If you work that out.
That's what I'm just going to go for, Tower. It's do you want the overs or unders on the top prize?
Oh, don't give me that. I can't work it out.
Well, I can't work it out. We don't know how many entries we're going to have today. It's just an educated guess.
I'll go the overs.
You go the overs.
Tea coming.
Jim says he'll take the overs on 106k. I'll tell you what, Jim, what we'll do, because you're in Antigua, I will bet you 5 Eastern Caribbean dollars. We'll have a little bet on the overs of 106. And then when I see you next, one of us can pay the other one. Here he is, Chef Brad in the building. Knew it wouldn't take long. Afternoon, Brad. Span reckons there'll be 126k up top. Yeah, K's, especially in the 1Ks and over, we do have events that have smaller buy-ins for main events, but especially in the 1Ks, usually around that sort of figure. In London, because the turnout of where the casino is, we do get a lot more entries. It's usually a bigger prize pool, so there's going to be more money up top. But that's probably around the figure I'm going to give. Could be very wrong. Could get 500,000 prize pool. We don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know how many people are going to turn up, how many people are going to play the turbo, how many people are going to flick in for day 2. There's so many factors to take into account.
Race 300.
Yeah, Brad, there is a turbo today. Yes, Brad, it is a 20-minute clock on the turbo. It starts at 9 p.m. 20k starting stack. And same as day 1A and day 1B, you can have 3 entries per flight. But it's just not the main event we got going on this weekend. We do have events on the client on Sunday of 50k guaranteed GUKPT close up, and as well as that live stream free roll, which I know a lot of you like to play. That will be starting on Sunday, as well as the sportsbook will be up for the GUKPT day 3. The satellites going online for the 30-30. As well as satellites for GUKPT Coventry as well, which is our next stop in 3 weeks' time. And our next live event will be off for the 30-30, 18th to the 22nd of August, Coventry, Liverpool, Luton and Sheffield. They kick off on the Wednesday with the online day ones at 8 p.m. You can bag up an online stack and choose your day 2 the following day. Get to choose where you want to go and play. So it's great if you can't make a live day 1, or you can only travel for one day. The Grand Percent says, any advantage or disadvantage for players playing live or turbo? Are players on turbo more likely to shove rather than turn up to the casino short stacked? I think with the turbo in the main event, the turbo obviously 20-minute clock, so the thing is you're gonna have to make hands. Like on this hour clock, you can fold for 4 hours, and it's only gone up 4 levels if you just go card dead. In a turbo, if you're not getting dealt anything on a 20-minute clock, in a couple of hours, if you just card dead for 2 hours, it's going to be very hard to try and run that stack up. So whereas in this, the actual main event, 60-minute clock, you've got so much time. So much time to just wait for your spot, wait for your hands. You just have to be patient, whereas in a turbo sometimes there's not much you can do. You've just got to fold for 2 hours, and next thing you know you've got 15, 20 bigs and you're in that territory where you've got to get it in. I'd always prefer to play the 60-minute clock. I know there's people that do like trying to spin it up. Obviously if you bust the day 1B and you don't want to re-enter on the 60-minute clock, maybe you can flick into the turbo at 9 p.m, start at level 1 again, see if you can run good, try and spin a stack up. Just going to be a lot more action in the turbo than a normal day 1. Here he is.
Well,
Look at this.
It all happened in the kitchen.
Thank you. What happened?
I put the
Kettle on?
I put the tea bag in the cup. I put the water in the cup, and it all started seeping out at the side of the cup.
Ah.
There was a massive crack. Not in that one, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know why I checked that.
There was a massive crack in the side of the cup, and the water was coming out the side of the cup. And guess what I have got? Guess what I have got?
What have you got?
A list of the qualifiers from yesterday.
Oh, there you go.
List of the qualifiers from yesterday. I'll find them. Vamshi. Van Danapu.
Goliath winner.
Yes.
There we go.
Qualified. Caroline Cove. Matthew Barton. Paul Campbell. Anthony Cartwright. That's why he's not turned up, because it was probably 5 in the morning. Ah, there you go. 523. Is when they were added. There you go. Paul Trotter, Don Jones, Sean Farrell, Baz Hussein, Bobby Uwe, who's won the Omaha and is cashed in the Mini, and wow. So there you go. Again, the USB port inside the bed. Yeah. You walk in blind. You walk in club with your eyes closed. There's two on there's two on either side.
I saw the little socket.
Yeah.
I thought it was a plug socket. When I looked closely, it wasn't a plug socket. I didn't give it a second look. Is it USB?
Yes.
Only took him 3 days.
It always takes 3 goes. Where is the meat? Is it already plugged in?
No. It's in my hand.
It's in that with the data.
What's happened there?
But we use.
It's not because I've got the
No, but
this
no.
open, is it?
You're watching the street.
No, not at all. Never.
Are you connected in?
Yeah.
What have you got open?
The GFX,
Oh, that shouldn't take anything.
and that's the only thing.
I've had it on.
100% I watch the
I've
stream.
had it on. I've just hit pause. Have you got it on?
Boothie's in the house. Chef Brad is waiting for the cakes. He's waiting for the cakes and the buns and the vanilla slices. Where are they? Where are they?
I don't know.
That's why Boothie's here. He's set up. He's done all the important stuff. Wanders
want
it,
cake?
Yeah.
and now just wants cake.
He said cakes, Blackpool maybe. He's not even giving us 100%. It's a maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. What about Coventry?
Yeah. What?
What about Luton? What about Leeds? What about Edinburgh?
What about now? This weekend.
Exactly.
So we've got 5 minutes left on the clock for the first level of the day. Not been much to report in terms of hands. It's been pretty quiet. No real big pots, if any. But it's what you expect. We just had a very, very big treat the first session of yesterday. It was actually a really, really good session. Doesn't happen too often. This is what you're more inclined to see at this level. Brad says can't make Coventry as them 2 weeks he's flat out. I thought you was head honcho, Brad. Can't you like get someone else to do it? I thought
You don't get Gordon Ramsay working up front line anymore. He's got all his men doing it, and women.
it's all right. Mel will save us. She says, you know, I'll always supply
Yes.
the dinners in Edinburgh.
See, forget that, Brad.
You're not going to be up his cake. It's not going to be Chef Brad. It's just going to be Brad. You can't be calling yourself Chef Brad and not bringing food.
That's it. We like that. So it's just Brad now.
It's just Brad.
Chiesa says not sure we can get to any events this year. Hopefully next year. Maybe that's because you're stuck in Italy in 37-degree heat with the flip-flops on and a Peroni. It's all right for some. You see, but only.
It's Danger Mouse.
Well, it's still best cartoon ever.
Ever.
The Danger Mouse.
Do you remember who done the voices?
David Jason.
Remember who done Penfold?
Yeah.
Both players flopping trips here. This could potentially be the biggest pot of the session so far. Although Diamond has rolled off on the turn, so may slow down action a little, but still both players here, as we're only 5-handed, flopping trips, monster hand. But Jack actually with the worst of it at the moment. Cliff just going to call, keep the pot small. Knows there's a flush out there. Straight can have some boats as well potentially, but
Don't be googling
just
it, Sally.
can't be unhappy about our hand at the moment as either player. It's the fact that we're
Terry Scott.
5-handed. This is blind on blind. There's a whole host of hands that should be in here, but somehow both players have got a 10. And, action on Jack here. He decides to check, and once it's checked over to us now, we've got a clear value bet here as Cliff. Jack shouldn't really ever be checking a hand that's beating us, so we can come in for an easy value bet, a bet of 800, get snapped off, and Jack just has to call there. Not much he can do. We've got trip 10s, blind on blind. Just gonna have to pay that one off.
I just think Jack's thinking, how do I get paid? Unlucky. Lines up shortly.
Raise 300.
Ace-8 of clubs. Simon making it 300 under the gun. Yeah, Span, I'm not quite sure how that pot was only, what was it, 3k, 4k, 30, 40 big blinds. When both players flop trips 5-handed, blind on blind, it's obviously expected to be a lot bigger, but just taking it cautiously, early levels obviously. As the Queen 9-9 flop rolls off, no one connecting with this one. Cliff does have a gut shot. Simon not choosing to continue here after being the pre-flop aggressor. King of clubs on the turn. I'd like to see a delayed c-bet here now though from Simon, but Cliff's going to come in for the lead and Simon's just going to call. I thought Cliff may still check that over to Simon there as he was the under the gun opener, even though we did snag our king. And it's a queen on the river, so the king 10 going to take this one. It goes check check.
So a very steady table to start. It's often like that. You don't get Albert and Terry on the feature table every single time.
No, that's what I was just saying yesterday.
Yeah.
It was a treat. What we had
Yes.
the first couple of sessions was a real treat for a day one.
It was. And don't forget, if you do want to check the numbers live, you can always use the Poker Live app. Click on there, it tells you all the information from all Grosvenor Poker related events. Just scroll down to Bury New Road and the tournament comes up and it says there currently are 118 players playing day 1A. The prize pool at this moment in time is £260,000 and we've only lost 3 players. What was it like yesterday?
17.
A £10 rebuy.
Yeah, 17 wasn't it in the first session we lost?
Well, today we've lost 3. There's a bit of difference.
At 500.
If you are thinking of coming up to Manchester, there is a turbo tonight at 8 o'clock. Oh, no. It's Friday 13th. Oh,
Didn't even realise.
oh my
I
days.
wonder what you were trying to say then.
Oh my
didn't
days. What's going to go wrong? Would you like one of the chilling them
let's try
folks?
chilling
Good
them.
lad. Didn't realise it. Didn't believe in all that. Friday 13th malarkey and all superstitions and all that. Didn't believe in that. Anybody go on that? I think the older you get, the less real it becomes. Have you ever walked under a ladder? Yeah.
Superstition is what do you think?
Here they are, the boots, first time today. And Cliff in the cut-off makes it 500. Comes in with the old 5X. No one looking into that. Simon with the ace-5 suited still wants to get involved out of position. Just think once everyone's been opening 300 and then someone suddenly opens 500. You've just got to be aware of that. It's just the last hour, the size everyone's been opening. And ace-5 of diamonds, flopping the nut flush draw.
The old GTOs get in there.
King of diamonds on the turn. It goes check, check. And it's just going to go lead call almost always here now. The aces can't fold. I know the flush has got there, the 7's got, but just got too good a hand. And wow, Simon only get 800 into really small there with the nut flush. Thought he might have sized up a bit more. But Cliff makes the call. Aces, no good.
Never walk over 3 drains.
I do that all the time.
What's that then?
Couldn't be bad luck. Do you know the drains? Do you know the drains that are like in threes? Like you've got like 3 squares. You must know them. Like they're on the pavement. You see them all the time. They're everywhere, wherever you go.
3 together?
Yeah, 3 together. You
3 together?
like that. These.
All right, okay, the
them
concrete ones.
Yeah, these ones.
They're very old.
Like them. Meant to be bad luck. What we've done here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's just stemmed from somebody falling in one probably at some point, like having an accident, more than if you'd walk on that. Bad luck will be bestowed on you.
I'm not really superstitious or anything like that.
Yeah. Gully Maff used to jump over the last one as a kid. Katie's heard of it. I never heard of it. No, never heard of that. Walk on 2 good luck, walk on 3 bad luck. There you go. Yeah, they were superstitions. Well, anyway, it's Friday 13th today. Does that mean it's Jason Day? Is it Jason? He was in Friday 13th, wasn't he?
Jason?
Yeah, Jason Voorhees. The big ski mask guy. Yes, Jason there. Friday 13th. Well, who knew? Who knew? See, in Italy, 13 is very lucky. 17 is bad luck. See, 17 is your number on roulette.
Yeah, it is.
So
How do
that's
you
why you
remember
never
that?
win.
How do you remember
That's
that?
why you never win.
How do you know that?
No, it's just. No. That's why you never win.
Of all the things
bad
to
luck.
remember, Tao, how is that the one thing you remember from a year and a half ago? I'll tell you what, my number in craps is 7 because I can't stop rolling them all the time whenever I play that game.
Dying breed in the United Kingdom, unfortunately, craps now.